Is there subways there?
Wait, not in my town.
No, not in your town.
Mm.
There's nothing like the SEPTA subway.
No, there's in
No.
Moscow or in St. Petersburg there is like subway and stuff, but that's like just crazy.
You ever
It's
visited
really
there?
beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, but it's dangerous too.
I've always wanted to visit St. Petersburg though.
It's
Like-
cold and like depressing.
Well, isn't that all?
Oh, yeah. Well, Crimea is cool, but it wasn't ours, so we took it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching a live chat. I'm your host, Sergio Galeano, and I'm here with Timur. Timur and the squad just played a live set. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Great.
What's your week been like? Tell me what is new in Timur's life?
No, I mean I work
Okay.
construction,
Oh, cool.
but I should not mention that.
So you balance that with the music.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just like I don't know, I get paid and then I can spend all the money on music. But it was like raining and snowing a lot, so I didn't work a lot. It's like only worked 3 days maybe a week.
Oh, wow.
So it's really cool. Weather is great. But
Yeah,
then I
man.
don't have money.
No. Well, you gotta fund the art though. I totally get that. Funding your art,
Well, yeah. Or I find people
Yeah.
fund my art. Yeah.
Tell me about your band. Because I know that your drummer Sean, he plays for a number like Square Peg and Cara Cara. How'd you get into contact with him and Ilya? Like where'd they come from?
Well, when I came here, when I came to America, I didn't speak English first for like 1 year and a half. So I didn't have any friends. I was like just it was like crazy. So I didn't have any friends, and I was I go to church, so the Russian church. They helped me out, and then through the people in the church, I met Ilya. Like and he was like he kind of played guitar, but it wasn't serious. He goes to temple, like goes to school, and then we just like because I was playing in a band in Russia, and it was like a big underground punk rock band.
What was it called?
Violet Pool. You won't find it. Yeah,
Oh, really?
It's like
Oh,
Russian
that sounds-
social networks and stuff. But yeah, we were playing a lot and we were pretty big. We could get like 200, 300 people.
Whoa.
Yeah, we toured.
Why would you leave that behind?
Well, it's just Russia, It's
Yeah, I get it.
yeah.
Cool.
So when I came here, I didn't have any friends, and then I met Ilya, and I've always been doing music, and Ilya just like I came here to do music,
Right,
Like I
of
left
course.
Russia
Yeah.
to come here and just do music.
Do it your way.
Yeah, and we just like started doing it with Ilya, and then like a year ago, almost
a year?
like almost a year ago, I messaged Sean, like on Facebook, and I said like, yo, I'm looking for a drummer. Do you know any drummers? And he's like, well, I know a lot of drummers, but they won't play. And plus, I'm from Russia. That's like weird.
What? No, that shouldn't be a factor.
No,
If
it
you
is.
ask
It is
me.
weird.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, because Americans have their perspective of Russian people and how Russian culture works.
When'd you move here?
2011.
Okay.
Yeah, and only like this year we started playing shows.
Oh.
Yeah,
All right.
we recorded song "Then the Hour Comes," like more than a year ago. Me and
You
Ilya.
guys played that today, right?
No, we didn't play it today. Yeah, but it's like we recorded it just me and Ilya and the studio drummer, and we were trying to send that to as many people as possible to just say, hey, like that's my music. Can you play drums? But nobody wanted to, or somebody like people were like, oh yeah, that's a cool song. The sound is great, and like you're Russian. That some people find it cool, but at the same time, nobody has a time to commit.
You gotta
So
commit, man.
yeah. So Sean just and Sean already was in like three bands at the time, and he said, "Well, let's try play your songs," and we started playing, and that's how we got together.
Yeah, no, when Henry told me that he saw you at So Far, he's like, dude, there's this super eccentric, really cool guy, man. We got to get him on the show. And I was like, whoa, what's his name? He's like, Timur. I'm like, wow, Timur, huh?
Timur. The stress goes on the last syllable. Yeah, Timur.
Timur.
Yeah, Timur. But I mean, it's fine. Yeah, So Far was fun. So Far was really funny. Like I was really funny. I talked too much.
Oh.
I mean, I do talk too much.
Yeah.
But it was just weird because before we played like 5 or 6 shows together, and usually there are like not many people show up, because we're like new artists, new band that nobody knows. But so far we come there and there's like 70 people. Yeah, we played, we destroyed it. Like we we like brought the house down. That was really cool.
That's awesome. Tell me about your influences, man. I really dug your set.
Yeah,
what are you
thank
listening
you.
to lately? What is the?
Well,
Give
I
me the
listen to.
background.
I try to listen like avant-garde old stuff, like
Definitely feel that.
60s. You know, like. But I listen to everything because I don't know, just how my culture. Like in Russia, we don't have a culture in Russia. Basically, I don't try to like say bad things about Russia. But in the 90s, when the Soviet Union collapsed, all this American like Western culture came into Russia. And before it was really hard, for example, to get like even, well, just from my experience, I know my parents or like their friends or people that I knew, even to get the Smiths record was the whole thing. You know, you have to go to the guy, and like government officials, they wouldn't encourage you to buy anything or get anything from the West. Like even to like it was the whole like hustle to get jeans, Levi's. You know, you had to go to the guy who went like abroad, bought jeans, and like it's crazy.
Them,
So when Soviet Union collapsed, all this culture came into Russia and killed our culture.
Wow.
Yeah, it just like destroyed it. So young people of my age, or even like people a little bit older, they didn't care for that culture. So it just ended Russian culture.
Interesting.
So what we have is just like pop music from the Soviet Union, which is terrible. Like young kids, like they can't relate to it. It's not just like for your grandparents.
Sure.
And which other countries have the same problem too.
Yeah,
but it just like when I was a kid, you would just listen like anything, you know, Madonna. Then like you have all the rock bands, you know, and it's crazy. We had just so much MTV. Like they started like we had MTV, which was great, but it still was like Russian owned, with Russian producer, and it was like filtered. Exactly. Because we knew that America has MTV too, with alternative bands and stuff. But I never like just I listen to everything. Like whatever sounds good, I just listen to it. That's a good motto to have. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the topic that I want to discuss with you today. I'm thinking right now. Well, see, this is what happened. So on Thursday, I was at the show at a Boot and Saddle, and I was talking to a friend of mine, Michael Chase, and he was telling me, he's in the music industry, and he was telling me about what he believes is one of the greatest challenges that the music industry is facing right now. And to him, that is music discovery, like finding an artist, or rather finding new artists, right? Because you have such an influx or such a prevalence of, you know, what is considered pop, what is considered, you know, popular, even if it's not like pop itself. So I want to discuss, like, would you agree with that? Like, would you agree with the fact that that is probably the greatest challenge? Or, you know, where do you hear your music? Where do you find new bands?
Well, I read and listen a lot of like interviews of other artists. Yeah. Like the great band is Future Islands. Okay. You know, it's a great band. Yeah. Like I really like it. And then you read their interview, like their vocalist, and he would drop a couple names and stuff. Like Spotify, all this like stuff is good, you know, to like find new music. Yeah. For yourself. For sure. I mean, somebody who wants to find a new music will, like in America, you'll always find new music. It just, there's so much music.
Yeah, but that's one of the problems though. I feel like it's like an oversaturation. You know what I mean? Where it's like you have these just so many bands that are out there. It's almost hard to like find like not even like new music per se, but the kind of music that you're looking for. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't look for any particular kind of music when I look for music, you know, because again, I'm from the country with a completely different school of aesthetics, art aesthetics. And again, after studying by myself or like going to school, I mean, I went to university, but I wasn't studying art. But again, just in America, it seems that people really associate themselves with the music that they listen to.
It's true.
You know, like you are what you eat, you are what you listen to, you know? Yeah. And in Russia, like at least for some people, I mean, I was in a subculture in Russia, and we had kids who would be like, oh, you listen to whatever, like you listen to punk rock music, but we'll listen to hardcore music, you weak, we're strong, you know, we're aggressive, you're just like, you know, blah blah. And you have that here too, you know.
Yeah.
Even Philadelphia, West Philly basement scene, you know, house show scene, like punk scene, and like all the songwriter scene and stuff. But when I can't like speak for, like I don't like when I look for music, I just don't look for anything particular. Again, whatever sounds cool and like gives me like, you know, good feeling or a vibe, I'll listen to it.
Yeah,
I don't discriminate, like, because it's like, it's just music.
I couldn't agree more, man. I definitely think that one of the main factors when I'm looking for a song is if I can groove to it. You know, if it can make me groove. And I was grooving to your set too, so I was like, oh yeah,
thank you.
I found good music.
Yeah. Well, now I try not to, like, I'm really tired of, like, I don't hate on contemporary music, but I try to listen just classical music, you know, because to me, it's just a weird thing. There's like, right, oversaturation, and a lot of songs sound alike.
It's true.
And if you've been doing if you've been making music or listening to music a lot, and like everybody listens to music a lot, but when you like really listen to music and it's like a personal thing for you, you have a personal relationship with the sound, right? And it's just like you get tired of the same template, the same like idea of songs, you know, the way they're structured. So now I just listen to like old classic Mozart, Bach, and I listen to a lot of Russian Orthodox like choral singing.
Cool, man.
Yeah, because I mean, to me, it's just great because that music was inspired by God, you know. And when those people were writing music, they were thinking about God. They weren't thinking about like marketing, product placement, or like their goal was to satisfy God and make him happy,
to praise.
Yeah. So, and that's like the best thing out there. You listen to Mozart, you need to go to school to understand Mozart. I mean, to understand like his music, and it's like that's the greatest thing. So I get a lot of satisfaction out of listening to that music. Also, I like old pop music too. You know, like I like Migos' last record, like the number one album right now in hip hop, and like I love Drake. Yeah. Like to me, Drake is like should write a novel. I posted that on my Facebook once, and people just went nuts. But I get away with it because I'm Russian.
Sure.
Oh, whatever. A Russian guy.
All right, Timur, what do you have for me today? What do you want to talk about right now?
Well, we can. No, I was just thinking about the difference between the cultures again, like as we, Russia and America. Just like
tell me about that. Tell me. I mean, like you were just telling me how like there's like almost a non-musical like perspective. People aren't really searching for music in Russia.
I mean,
or are they just searching? They just
get it.
trends?
They just get it like secondhand from the whatever like media they have. Yeah, you know. But the important thing in American culture is so complex and interesting. It has just the most interesting thing in the world.
Oh, why? Thank you.
Yeah. I mean and Russia. Just like we get new bands when you have a new band for like, I mean, with the internet it's easier, but you have a new band, Russians get it 6 months later.
Okay. No, but that makes sense. And many countries too. South America, the same thing.
Yeah, but that's like kind of sad too.
Yeah.
But in Russia, that's why I left Russia, because it's just like depressing environment for any artist to. I mean, Russian, like if I'm not mistaken, Russia, there is no Russian artist in America who is famous.
You don't think so?
Who?
Oh, who's like famous?
Yeah.
Come to the okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
There is no.
And
there comes a time when now we live in an age when people. I mean, now it's kind of hard to come to America, you know.
Sure, well, right now.
Yeah, but that's what's great about America, that you can come, like if you work hard and you have your mind tuned right. In Russia, you can't do that. In Russia, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you reached the level of like you're touring and Russian people come, like Russian kids, whatever, they come to your show, you're still always going to be considered a copy of the Western artist.
You think so?
It is like that.
It can't be its own.
You can't.
Or like a new iteration.
Yeah, you can't. It's all because the problem with the culture that we're here, like in America, that we're right now, it's not the independent music versus mainstream music.
Sure.
It just it's more like a monopoly on opportunities.
Oh, okay, I see.
That what I'm saying is, when you're independent artist, you can learn like you can learn how to write songs. You can structure them, bridge. Like you know how to arrange a song, and it's amazing. But you still need a platform. You need people who know how to do it better than you. Like I don't believe in artists who say that, oh, I just like played for like 16 years and then I became good and then I became famous. That's not true. That's
No
like
way.
Yeah,
in a perfect world, maybe.
Yeah. But and imagine here people struggle with, you watch again, like my favorite artist of all time right now is Kanye West, right?
Yeah. Great, Garrett. We're gonna have
like, and he's like, even he said that he couldn't make Jesus walks, like till Jay-Z and like that, like the Rockefeller Records gave him the chain and got the right people who. Doesn't matter how good he was at the time, right? He was the producer. Everybody, oh, young kid, like, oh, crazy, like, really, really good. Still, he needed a platform to make it even better, and then come out as a new artist, like make a revolution on the radio and like in hip hop. So imagine Russians or any other country, they don't have that. Doesn't matter how good you are, you still don't have a platform. There is nowhere to go. You're still gonna always stand like on that place.
Interesting.
So. And American culture is so great because it just, I believe that like your purpose on this earth
as Americans.
No, it's just like as a human being, as a human interaction.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like the only reason that you're here
is to connect with people.
Yeah, to connect and like we're interacting right now, and it's like how we deal with that and how we manage to like what are we gonna get out of this interaction, right? So the idea that you play music for 60, 10, 5 or like 1,000 people, just like mind blowing. Yeah. Like there is a reason why I can meet you outside and talk. Yo, what's up, Sergio? Mm-hmm. How are you doing? And again, I'm responsible for the way this interaction is gonna go. So in America, people go to shows. There is a culture to like, oh, I'm going to shows.
We love going to shows.
Yeah, everybody loves going to shows. And it's amazing that people come and give you a chance. They want to like you. Yeah. And they want to, oh yeah, like there is a reason why I like talk to 60 people at So Far. And this is like mind blowing to me. This is amazing. And, that's how you get like exposed to new music also because you go to shows. Right. And that's how you expose yourself to people. That's the only way, like that's why there is a lot of music, but there are little I watched the Tupac interviews last night.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like so many of them.
In preparation for this?
Yeah, I was preparing. No, but the thing Tupac was saying that he has something for the business that nobody has. He's real. That was the whole thing about Tupac. That I'm real. Like this is real deal. Like I'm a thug and blah blah and sensitive, and that's what I do. I speak like every time I open my mouth, I speak the truth. So that's what sells. Like all these young kids in Philadelphia, I don't hate on anyone. I see bands and there's so many cool bands, like Cara Cara, right?
Yeah.
Pine Barrens, band from New Jersey. I saw them in 2016 at So Far. Then Harmony Woods playing, like this girl is really really great. I mean
on Thursday, right?
No, she's playing today.
Oh wait, what?
Today? Yeah, she's playing today at So Far. Cool. But it's just like so many great bands, and there's so much music, but the personality is really what sells music, in America, and it's great. In Russia, we don't have that. It doesn't matter your personality. It's just like Americans are always better. That's what they think. And again, I can't speak for the whole like Russian people, No. But so when I was growing up, I knew what was going on. Like I was in a good band, people would show up, right. But they still would say, it sounds like Blink-182. All right. And you spend like days, you spend days arranging your songs, trying, and so the main difference here, America is still the country of opportunities, and American people are so nice. They give you a chance every time. This is like insane.
Well, I think you're very nice, Timur. And I want to thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Do you have any handles? Do you have any EP coming out?
We're finishing the EP.
Okay.
And I hope it's gonna be done in the next 2 weeks.
Or they're gonna find it on Bandcamp.
It's gonna be everywhere. Spotify, like Apple Music, and
Cool. Can anyone follow you right now on Twitter or anything?
Yeah,
like that?
I have SoundCloud, and beside
What's it called?
just doing Timur and the Squad. Yeah,
Timur and the Squad.
Timur, yeah. So beside EP, I have little series of songs. So I try to release like one song per like 2 weeks, 1 week.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're all cool. Because the first album that I made by myself here was just me and GarageBand and like a lot of samples, and it was like people received really good, and it's just like really cool stuff. And SoundCloud is the place to go if you want to listen to Timur and the Squad.
SoundCloud is the place to go, and please follow us, Live Sound Group, and find us on SoundCloud too. Actually, we often share music, and we'll share Timur's music when it comes out.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks.